Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today we continue building monocolored decks around cards that break the card limit rule. Leading today's Dragon's Approach deck is none other than Urabrask. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. Urabrask is a 4-mana 4/4 legendary Phyrexian Praetor with First Strike. Whenever we cast an instant or sorcery spell, Urabrask deals 1 damage to target opponent, and we add 1 red mana to our mana pool. We may pay a red and exile Urabrask, then return it to the battlefield, transformed under its owner's control. We may activate this ability only as a sorcery, and only if we've cast 3 or more instants and/or sorceries this turn. Transformed, Urabrask becomes the Great Work, a saga. The first lore counter causes it to deal 3 damage to target opponent, and each creature they control. The second lore counter creates 3 treasure tokens for us, and the third lore counter allows us to cast instants and sorceries from any graveyard. If a spell would be cast this way, we exile it as it resolves instead of returning it to the graveyard. Additionally, we exile the Great Work and return it to the battlefield as Urabrask. Dragon's Approach is a 3-mana sorcery that deals 3 damage to each opponent. We may exile it and 4 other cards named Dragon's Approach from our graveyard. If we do, we search our library for a dragon creature card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Additionally, a deck may have any number of cards named Dragon's Approach. Okay, I think you can see where this is going. We're trying to build a mono-red Storm deck. Mind you, I'm not as experienced with Storm as I am with Spellslinger, and yes, there is a difference. Storm requires you to cast a ton of spells on a single turn in order to close out the game, while Spellslinger requires you to cast a couple of spells to combo off and win. I'll put it in military terms. Spellslinger is a sniper. 1 shot, 1 kill. Patience, precision. Storm is cover fire. Keep firing in roughly the correct direction and you'll eventually put enough rounds into the target. Maybe. Okay, I'm kidding. Sort of. But seriously, a Storm deck doesn't win with a single card. You cast a ton of cards in order to win. That being said, I didn't want to just run 60 copies of Dragon's Approach and 39 lands. I wanted this deck to be mostly functional. Now, normally, I recommend that commander decks follow a checklist in order to be functional. Something like 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. But this deck, like the others this week, is a bit of a meme. Yes, we can win games, but we're here for good times and good stories, not
to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Now, before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, Ultimate Guard. I know I'm sponsored, so you may not believe me, but Ultimate Guard katanas are the best sleeves on the planet. They have gorgeous colors like these new purple ones, are durable and long-lasting, and an absolute joy to shuffle. Let Ultimate Guard protect your cards with katanas. Pick yours up today at your local game store, or order them on Amazon. Link down below. Oh, one more quick announcement before we get started. I'm currently streaming with my son over on Gaming with Danon as well as Twitch. It'll mostly be Final Fantasy XIV, but you're more than welcome to pop in and talk about Commander. Honestly, about half my streams are talking about manga, anime, or Commander. Our land base consists of Scavenger Grounds, War Room, and 32 mountains. Pretty straightforward. For mana ramp, we're running Locket of Yesterdays, Birgi, God of Storytelling, Stormkiln Artist, Runaway Steamkin, Ashling Flame Dancer, Descent into Avernus, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Fire Diamond, Ruby Medallion, Mind Stone, Felwar Stone, and Throat of Eldraine. Some mana rocks, some cost reducers, and some treasure generators, as it should be. Our card advantage package consists of Nullspine Dragon, Big Score, Unexpected Windfall, Invoke Calamity, Mizzix Mastery, Wheel of Misfortune, Magus of the Wheel, and the Immortal Sun. Some wheel effects, some graveyard recursion, and lots of ways to dig through our deck. For interaction and spot removal, we've got Chaos Warp, Abrade, Tybalt's Trickery, Wild Magic Surge, Bolt Bend, Reverberate, Reiterate, and Return the Favor. Danon, why do you have copy effects as interaction? Well, dear viewer, when you copy someone else's counterspell, you turn the copy back on the original. Or you can use a redirect spell to destroy some other annoying permanent. Our board wipes consist of Blasphemous Act and Reckless Endeavor. Simple and powerful. The core of our deck consists of Thrumming Stone, Pyromancer Ascension, Solfim Mayhem Dominus, Harness the Storm, and Twin Flame Tyrant. And, of course, 30 copies of Dragon's Approach. Gotta win the game somehow. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 47 mana sources split between 34 lands and 13 pieces of ramp. Light, I know, but we're a monocolored deck, so we can get away with it a little bit. 9 pieces of card advantage, 8 pieces of interaction, 2 board wipes, 1 piece of graveyard hate in Scavenger Grounds, 1 sudden I win card in Mizzix Mastery. Most of our deck is focused on chaining spells together. We have cards that generate mana whenever we cast an instant or sorcery, some wheel effects so we can keep our hands full, and cost reducers so we can basically chain through as many Dragon's Approaches as possible. But once we get to 7 Dragon's Approaches in the graveyard, assuming we cast all of them, we win the game. Let me show you the math. 7 copies of a spell that deals 3 damage per spell is 21 damage. So assuming we cast all 7 copies, we just need to cast Mizzix Mastery to recast all of them, allowing us to close out the game. Now, some of you are wondering why we don't have more damage doublers. Well, we do have a couple, and one we can even fetch out with Dragon's Approach. The only other dragon in our deck allows us to refill our hand. So we're not a dragon deck by any means, but we do get to use both parts of Dragon's Approach. Finally, I know that some of you are going to ask why we aren't just running Burgi, God of Storytelling, or Ashling Flame Dancer as our commander. Why are we running Urabrask? He's clearly the weakest of the 3. You're correct, dear viewer, and that's the point. I wanted to have a commander that stayed under the radar, at least until it's too late. Do you have a Dragon's Approach deck? Who's your commander? What's your secret deck tech? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. You can have a video made or just ask for help building or tuning a deck list. I also want to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Alix, Borgi, Nazwin, Conga, Chris, Robert, William, Pi, Kazaris, Booksu, Patrick, Tiz, Art, Richard, Sint, Boomy, Jackie, Finn, Zen, Ashura, Justin, and Christian. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.